Hi friends! So today I wanted to talk about embracing your femininity and basically just the things that I've learned so far and some tips that can help you out. So if you want to learn more, just stick around. Okay, so the first thing that I learned is that femininity is more than, your appearance. It's more than wearing pink frilly dresses and having your makeup on and nails done and all that kind of more superficial type of things. It's like a mindset. Just similarly to how being a man is a mindset, being a feminine woman is a mindset. It is being elegant, being courteous, being polite. It is just embracing your true feminine self and thriving off of it. Okay, so how do you embrace being your true feminine self? Well, the first thing I learned was that it's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to cry every so often, whether you're happy, sad, angry, frustrated, whatever it may be, it's okay. When I was growing up, I still kind of am, but I was very sensitive and I would cry for everything. And so because of that, I was always, kind of put down, saying that I'm too sensitive, that I'm a crybaby and all these types of things. So it kind of got to me and I started to really believe it, I'm just really sensitive and it's not okay to have this many emotions. And I'm here to tell you that that's false. It is completely okay to have whatever emotions you want. The thing is that you have to figure out how to navigate those emotions in a healthy way and how to take care of them in a way that's going to further you in life. So for me, I've learned that the way I am able to handle my emotions the best way is by writing. I keep a journal with me. I should probably keep it with me at all times, but that's what my notes app is for. But just being able to have a journal and write down any sort of thoughts or feelings, whether it's happy, sad, angry, whatever it may be, I'm able to get them out and I'm able to see them in black and white, and then it's easier for me to evaluate myself. And if you don't like to write, or sometimes I just have too many thoughts and emotions and just everything is going on all at once, so I will talk to my phone in the voice recording memo app thing. And it honestly feels like a therapy. It feels like I can just get everything off my chest, and I feel so much better once I just kind of speak what I'm feeling, because a lot of the times, say if you're feeling a certain type of way towards a specific person, you don't want to act on it right then and there, because typically when you're in an emotional outburst, everything is heightened. So keep with the 24-hour rule. Sit on it for 24 hours, sleep on it, and if it's still bothering you just as much the following day, then maybe bring it up and then go about it from there. But yeah, overall, in general, it's okay to be sensitive. And don't feel bad if you are. You just have to learn how to use it to your advantage. Okay, another thing I learned to embrace my femininity is to just let go of anger. Let go of any sort of anger that you hold within yourself, towards other people, anger that you hold within your heart, because ultimately it's not going to bring you happiness and fulfillment in life. Using me, for example, and again, I had a lot of anger in my heart, and I didn't even realize it until it was pointed out to me. And at first I was very, very I wanted to reject it as much as I possibly could, and I realized, you know what, yes, I do have a lot of anger in my heart, and I just need to figure out how to let that go. And of course, it is easier said than done. But once you figure out the best way to let go of the anger for yourself, you will be able to thrive so much more. You'll just be able to be just so much happier, and you'll have better relationships, you'll have better friendships, you'll be better to yourself, and it'll probably help you even accomplish some goals in your life, and it'll just overall be such like a big pivotal moment in your life once you're able to figure out how to let go of the anger. And yes, it is easier said than done, but sometimes literally just telling yourself, let go, and to take a deep breath, and when you exhale, you are releasing everything inside of yourself. Just release it all out into the open, and let the weight shed off of your shoulders, and you will feel amazing. Another way to do that is to put it on God, is to say, you know what, God, I know that this is too much for me. I know that you are always going to be there for me. So let me trust in you, and let me put all of my anxieties and worries and fears onto you, because I know that your way is the right way, is the best way for me. And I'm just going to put everything that I have into trusting you, and I will be able to live a better life because of it. So please help me. It's okay to lean on him every so often, or it's okay to lean on him all the time. Like, it's not just, also, it's important to keep God in your life, even when you are having like the best time ever. Give thanks. Because if you give thanks and show him that, yes, I believe in you, and yes, I trust that you are the Almighty, and I'm going to fulfill your word. If you trust in that, he is going to keep rewarding you in a way. And that's not to say that it's not going to rain ever again. Of course, there's always going to be another hurdle to jump over. There's always going to be another obstacle to get past. But that's when you keep in your faith the most. And once you pass through that difficult season, you will feel like a fully new person. Another way that I learned how to embrace my femininity is to just be creative, to just let myself have fun with life. And for me, that was learning about makeup and skincare and like colors and undertones and all those kinds of things. Like, I'm a licensed esthetician, so that was the point in my life where I was like, you know what, this is really fun. And it is a feminine skill to have, because men don't necessarily care about skincare or anything like that. They're like, oh yeah, hand me that hand soap and I'll wash my face. And the number one thing that I have learned is to figure out my life based on what I dreamed of doing and being when I was a little girl. Before like I had any other really outside influences by society and by like the culture, if you will, to gear me towards a specific route of life. So for me, when I was a little girl, I just dreamed of getting married and having babies and like being at home and like being able to just be a mom and to be able to like thrive in that avenue of life. And once I got older, I started to get asked like, oh, well, what are you going to do? What college are you going to go to? What kind of career are you going to have? And I just never really knew. I never had an answer. And now I'm able to think back and say like, oh, well, I didn't have an answer because I somehow still knew internally that I didn't want that route for my life, that I wanted to be able to be a wife and a stay-at-home mom and go down that route. And that's like the ultimate way that I'm going to be happy and successful in my life. So just figure out what that is for you and go from there. Okay, so going into my top tips to figure out how to embrace your femininity and just to have a little bit more fun with life. The number one thing that is like extremely easy, and it doesn't have to be all at once, is simply just to implement more color into your life. I used to wear black a lot, and I used to wear a lot of dark colors. And once I started to brighten up my wardrobe, I just overall just felt so much happier because I felt like prettier. I felt more like me. So I would just like to encourage you to do the same. And that doesn't mean like you don't necessarily have to wear like a pink frilly dress right off the bat. Like if you don't feel comfortable wearing color right away, then maybe opt for like a black, blue, or green dress instead of like a pink or red dress. And then you can transition into like those brighter colors from there once you start feeling a little bit more comfortable. But if you want to just challenge yourself to like the most you can, then jump into it. Then say, okay, I'm going to get rid of exchange all of your black clothing for white clothing, and just see how it makes you feel. And yes, you will feel a little bit odd at first, but over time, once you start to just kind of like embrace the happiness that it gives you, you will want to keep wearing all of those bright colors. Another tip for you is to express your emotions in a happy, positive way. So just a couple examples: you can exercise, you can meditate, you can pray, you can go for a walk and just go outside and just kind of be with yourself for a little while. Or just simply like getting your blood moving, just to get some of that energy built up inside of you out. It'll just trust me. And my last tip for you is kind of going off of thinking back to when you were a little girl and figuring out what makes you happy. My last tip is to figure out what makes you truly, truly fulfilled and happy, completely regardless of what society tells you. So like I said, for me, that was, instead of choosing a career, choosing to work on myself and choosing to cultivate my relationships. So yeah, just figure out what makes you happy. You, regardless of what your parents say, what your friends say, what your neighbor says, what anybody says. Just completely block everybody else out and reflect on you. Focus on you, because you're the only one that has to live with you for the rest of your life. So of course you're gonna want to be happy with that relationship. So those are the ways that I learned how to embrace my femininity. And my top tips for you, please leave me a comment down below and tell me what your favorite top tip was and how you're going to implement it into your life. I think it'd be really fun just to share each other's experiences in the comments below. So yeah, I guess that's all I have for you today. Please join me in my next video. I'm going to try to upload a video probably about once a week or so. But we will see, since I'm still a little bit new to the YouTube space. So, and make sure to follow me on my TikTok. I talk about all things femininity and how to embrace your femininity in little, obviously little spurts of videos. And I also sometimes implement my relationship with God within my videos. So if that's something you're interested in, then follow me on TikTok. It's just Marissa2, the number 2.0. And yeah, well, with that being said, I will talk to you guys later. TTFN.